Hello, Googlers, and welcome to Unit 2 of Google Slides. For this unit, we're going to add in some new skills. So some of our unit objectives include formatting images, inserting transitions, inserting animations, video, including presenter notes, some share options, and chatting. So let's go ahead and get started on our slideshow. So for this presentation, we're going to create a slideshow about biomes. So let's go ahead and start off by titling our slideshow. And then we're actually not going to pick a specific theme, so we can go ahead and just leave it as the simple one and exit out of themes. Now it automatically gives us this layout as the main title layout. Let's change this to just a blank one. We're going to insert word art, type in biomes. Now I'm going to move pretty fast because a lot of this stuff is stuff that we've done before. So change to yellowtail. And then let's resize it to kind of fill up the slide. Change the fill to, looks like dark green 3. Line color, we'll go with a lighter green and make it a little bit thicker. Now we need to insert a text box, and let's go ahead and put by your name. Change that to Proxima Nova, size 36. And then let's just resize this text box so everything fits in it. And let's move it to the bottom right corner of the slide. All right, let's change. So click on the slide itself so we can change the background. Go to background. We're going to choose a color for this one, and let's go with dark green 1. All right, last we're going to insert an image. And because biomes are the different parts of the planet, let's go ahead and search Earth. And let's change this to clip art. And then go ahead and use a picture of the Earth. And right click. And let's send it all the way to the back. All right, let's go ahead and change this to white. And we are done with slide number 1. All right, so our next slide we're going to use is going to be a title and body. Let's go ahead and put biomes as our title because we are going to define what a biome is. Then in our body section, we'll go ahead and start with a bulleted list. And now we need to look up the definition of a biome. So let's go ahead and go to Tools, Explore, and think of Explore as like a quick Google. We can search for information through Explore. So let's look for biome definition. So we've got definitions from vocabulary.com, dictionary.com. We've got Merriam-Webster. So we can probably pick pretty much any of these, and they're going to be strong definitions. So let's go with this one. A biome is a specific environment that's home to living things and suited for that place and climate. So let's start with just that. Copy and paste. All right. Now this is really small. We can go ahead and go to more, and let's clear the formatting so that it's just the basic format. Now on the next line, we want to do an indented bullet. So let's go ahead and go to the next line and we can hit increase indent. And let's list the actual biomes. And this one, I'll just tell you. So you've got tundra, forest, aquatic, desert, and grasslands. So now that we have our information, let's try and make it look good. So we'll go with for Dana, size 60. Let's go ahead and move this up just a little bit so it's not covering the other words. And then for the rest of this information, we will go with, looks like let's go Trebuchet MS and size 36. And then we can move this down just to spread things out a little bit. Now for the title, we'll change the color to, let's go with the dark green, and we can do the same for the rest of the content. And then the last thing I want to do is put in a picture because this looks a little plain. We'll go to insert, image, and then let's search biome map. And let's change it from clip art and go with just any type of image. So let's look for a good one. How about this one? Now that one didn't work, so let's try it again. Let's go with this one. We'll go to image options. Let's turn the transparency up to 80%. And then we're going to have to right click on this and then send it to the back. All right, so I think this slide looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and move to the next one. For the next one, we are going to pick a main point slide. So we'll go down to main point. And this one's going to be about the tundra. So this is the first biome we're going to talk about. Let me type in the definition for you. All right, here's your definition of a tundra. I'll give you a second, type it in. All right, now that you have it typed, let's make some changes. We're going to change this from aerial to, let's go with Roboto slab, size 36. We're going to change the text color to dark green 3. And then let's highlight it yellow because we're going to put a background image in. So let's click on the background or on the slide, go to image, and then let's just go ahead and search for tundra and see what we get. This looks like a good representation. Let's go with that. And this slide is done. So now we can move to the next one. Let's go with a title in 2 column. In the top column, we're going to type forest because that's the next biome we're going to talk about. And then I'm going to insert some information here for you to type. All right, I'm going to go ahead and make this slide larger so that you can type it. Go ahead and type this. All right, let's go ahead and start making it look good. So let's go with the title. We're going to change to Playfair Display. Let's go ahead and center it. Size 48. And let's go with that dark green again. Dark green 3. Let's move it up. Oops, I accidentally highlighted it. So let's fix that to text. Dark green 3. That's better. Now for this information, the content, we can highlight all of it because we want to make it a bulleted list. Let's go with the arrows bullet. Let's change the size to 24 because it's a little small. And we'll go with Comic Sans MS. Last thing we need to do is change the color. So let's go with a dark green 2. Now on the left side, we can go ahead and click on this text box. Let's just hit backspace and get rid of it. We don't need that one there because we're going to insert a video. So go to Insert, Video. Let's go ahead and search for a video on tundra biome. Otherwise, we're going to get a lot of videos about trucks. So let's search that. And now, normally we would do a lot of research and find the perfect video. Let's go with this one. October 22nd, 2011, 5 minutes long. We'll select that. Let's move it over to our left side of the slide. And then I just want to put a border on it. So let's make that border our famous dark green and do with 4 points. And let's just put it in a spot where it looks good. And then let's change the background color of the slide to, let's go with this, light green 2. All right, so looks like the forest is done. Okay, on to the next one. The next slide, we're going to do a lot of editing ourselves, so let's just make it a blank slide. Insert some word art, and we will type in aquatic. Let's bring it down to the bottom part of the screen and stretch it across. Let's go ahead and change the font of that word art. And we will go with Anton. So we got to stretch it again. Let's change the fill color. We'll go with dark blue 3. Line color, we'll go with blue. And let's make that a little bit thicker. All right, now we have to put in our information, so we're going to have to draw a text box. So we'll probably want the information to take up this space. So let's just draw our text box. All right, so let's go to our Explorer and see if we can find some information about the aquatic biome. So let's type in aquatic biome. And this looks like an EDU, so this is probably a good one to use. Let's go ahead and open this up. All right, so this looks like some good information to use. Let's read some of this and then we can put it into our own words. So it covers nearly 75% of the Earth's surface. Looks like it's ponds, lakes, rivers, oceans, all of those. And then it looks like it falls into 2 categories, freshwater and saltwater. All right, so let's go back to our slide and put in this information. So we'll start out with our bullets. We'll go with the stars. We'll say this covers nearly 75% of the Earth's surface in the form of oceans, lakes, rivers, etc. And then we'll make a note that is 2 categories: freshwater regions and saltwater regions. And I think that kind of does a good job of explaining the aquatic biome. So let's just make this look good. We'll go with Alpha Slab 1, 36. Change it to that dark blue, the same as the aquatic. And let's get a picture that we can use as a background. So we'll go to Insert, image. Let's search for ocean. And let's change this to a photo. All right. This one looks pretty good. We'll just go with water and make it our background. And we can kind of distort this image a little because you can't really tell that we're stretching it out. So we'll stretch it out a little, go to our image options, turn the transparency up to 75%, and then we'll send it to the back. All right, looks like our aquatic tundra slide is done. And we only have 2 more slides to go. So the next one we're going to do is this one's going to be a blank slide. Let's change the background color to black. And instead of typing out some information, let's go ahead and insert a video to explain it. This biome is the desert biome, so let's find a video that goes with that. I misspelled biome, of course. All right. So I actually watched this video and I think it does a pretty good job of explaining it. This is from March 13, 2013, 11 minutes, a short documentary for desert biome. Let's insert it and let's move it over here. And so it's not distorted, we're going to resize from the corner and just fill up the rest of the frame. And then we still need a title to tell people what the slide is about. So we're going to insert word art. We'll go with the word desert. Let's change it to we'll go with this amatic, and then we can turn it and we can resize it. Now let's go ahead and change the colors. We'll do the fill color as dark yellow 3 and the line color is that one, and I think this looks pretty good for our desert slides. We only have 1 more slide to go, and that is grasslands. For this slide, we're going to use 1 column text, grasslands, and the definition is large, rolling terrains of grasses, flowers, and herbs. We'll go ahead and edit this information. We'll go with size 72 and yellowtail for the title. And then we're going to have to resize this text box so it fits. And then for the rest of the information, we'll go with size 30 and Valera round. We'll change this color to green and grasslands to the dark green. All right, next I want to put in a shape. So we're just going to do a rectangle and we're going to kind of split this in half. So we'll go to about right there, looks good. We're going to get rid of the line and we're going to fill it with, how about this dark yellow? And let's right click and send it to the back. And we can go ahead and put a background image in so we can fill up this part of the screen. So let's go to background, image. Let's search for grassland. And all of these pictures will work, but let's go with this one. Now we see that the shape needs to get resized a little. And we are done making the slides. All right, now we have to add some animations, transitions, and presenter notes. So let's start with transitions. We're going to go to the first slide. Let's go to slide, and we are going to change the transition. Right now there's currently none. So we can pick from a few options. We can do cube, gallery, flip. Let's go with cube. We'll slow it down a little bit so it takes a medium amount of time. And let's just use this for all the slides. Otherwise, we could go through and put a different transition for each one if we wanted. Now, let's do animation. So let's start with this slide and let's add an animation. So let's highlight this stuff and go to insert, animation. And for this stuff, let's go ahead and highlight the first one. Right now it's on fade in. We can do fly in from bottom. Now we can do this by paragraph also. So the first bullet will fly in, and then the second we can change it from click, or it happens after the previous click. Let's just go with click on this one. All right, now forest, let's add an animation. So we select the text and we're gonna add an animation. Let's do appear. We'll do after previous and by paragraph. And I think you get the idea. We're gonna go through and add some animations to everything. So let's do this information. We're gonna fade it in with previous and we'll let it all come at once. And for last, this definition, we're gonna go ahead and instead of an in animation, we're gonna spin on click, and that's good. So let's see what it looks like if we actually watch the slideshow. So let's start at the beginning. All right, now here's our slideshow. We've got biomes, and you'll notice the transition is the changing of one slide to the other. And you'll also notice all this information hasn't appeared yet. So I have to click, and this first paragraph comes in from the bottom. I have to click again to get the next information because we did it by paragraph. All right, transition. We didn't add any animations to this one. Now we've got our forest slide. And you see how because we put after previous, it automatically transitioned in or had the animation go without me clicking. And then this one was after previous, so this one went on in on its own also without me clicking. We've got desert and grasslands, and that is our presentation. Here, I'll go back so we can watch that spin again. There you go. All right, what else do we need to do? All right, we're going to do a couple more things just to help us present these, which we're not actually going to present, but if we were, this would help out. We're going to insert slide numbers so we know what slide that we're on. Let's skip the title slide and hit apply. All right, now I want to add presenter notes. So down here in this pane is a place to add notes. So if we were presenting these, this could remind us or tell us what we're going to talk about. So we're going to go through and add notes. So if we were presenting, we might want to make a note to say the entire planet can be separated into biomes. All right, on the next slide, we're going to make sure we mention that the tundra is often associated with cold. On the forest slide, we want to make a note to say probably the most common biome for the people in the audience. In the aquatic, we want to make sure we say that the aquatic biome is the most easily visible from space. Desert, we want to make sure that we introduce the video. It explains facts of the desert. And then last but not least, we've got our grassland slide. And in this one, we're going to make a note that grasslands are often associated with prairies and farmland. All right, now we are almost done. Before the end of this unit, you're going to have to work on a project with a partner. So I just want to make sure that you understand how to do so. So we're going to look at sharing, comments, and chat. All right, so I know you guys have shared files before. So just real quick, whenever you're just want someone to see something, make sure it's on view or comment. Now, when you're working on something with a partner, which you will do soon, make sure you allow them to edit it as well if you're the first person to make it. So when you share, if you're working with a partner, like say I'm working with Miss Fuchs, I'm going to share with her and allow her to edit. So I cancel because I'm not actually going to share with her. Now, as far as communicating with your partner, let's say that you want to make a change to something. You can come to this slide and say you want to make a comment on it. Go ahead and click, and you can make a comment about this information. So go to comments, and you can say, so you guys can start talking to each other about the issue. And then when you come to a resolution about biomes, you finally have it the way you want it to look, we can go ahead and hit resolve, and that one is fixed. So you can go through, comment, and talk about what changes you need to make as you're working on this, even if you're working on it at different times of the day, or if you're working in different parts of a room or different parts of the school. All right, I think that's everything for this one. Go ahead and turn it in.